Hello everyone, we are Team Hackforge and this is our Agentforce Hackathon project. We built a complete Agentforce experience, our toll dispute agent and a fully custom presentation Lightning Web Component, all generated from SID and hosted right here on this experience cloud site. This is the 13 slide Lightning Web Component presentation slides which we made using SID, and this is the agent which we made using SID. We built the Agentforce agent by building the complex agent metadata setup into small linked components, which is made of more and reliable and easier components to manage. The main problem we solved here is highly connected metadata, which is very fragile in a much more token efficient manner. We didn't use one particular model for everything. Instead, we matched each model to the type of work it does the best. We used GPT 5.4 for Apex classes and Lightning Web Components. For data modeling, we used GPT 5.4 mini. And for bot, GenAI Planner and plugins and local actions, for all those, we use Sonnet 4.5. We use Sonnet 4.5 for all actions which are related to agents because XMLs are complex and heavy operations to build. This is the architecture of the agent. So in the bot plus bot version there, all the definition of the agent which we currently have would be defined there. And we'll be having all topics in Gen AI plugins, and in Gen AI functions we'll be having all the actions. In the Gen AI Planner bundle, all the actions and topics would be orchestrated there based on the query which the user gives through the. We created a markdown file and mentioned all the project specific instructions in the markdown file there. To keep things simple, markdown file is similar to a big green holding in a national highway where it assists the vehicles to go in a particular direction. The markdown file also assists the LLMs to go in a particular direction inside the metadata. Instead of having a random guess inside the XML there, it always knew which line to pick and which line to update in the XML, so that it would be taking less number of tokens and giving us more accurate response within short period of time. This is the markdown file which we created for better context instructions. Every time we give a prompt, we use it to tag this markdown file so that while creating every topic, it would be taking into consideration all the rules which we defined here. First, we define the metadata hierarchy here. So what would be the API name there? So as we have the different and complex XML structure here, each XML structure would be linked with other XML there. So we give this metadata hierarchy here, and we also have a deployment order. Deployment order is very important because we need to follow a bottom to top approach here. So the Apex classes would be created first, next the plugins, next the topics, and then it goes to orchestrator, and all this then combined to the bot there. And we also have maintained a few design rules for Apex, mainly to consume less number of tokens while generating the Apex class. And it's not sure we would be getting the accurate Apex class at the first attempt. Sometimes we need to debug the Apex class, and we need to give much more improvise the Apex class by giving additional prompts. So if we have one particular class and one particular invocable method for a Apex for each action there, it would be taking much less number of tokens compared to a single class with all the invocable methods. And we also have these naming consistency map here, and we also give a default XML template so that it would be making use of this as a blueprint while creating the XML templates. Agent. As the agent XMLs are complex and very hierarchical, we stopped asking the LLM to build everything at once. Instead, we defined one topic and all its related actions one time and generated the topic and actions, and based on that we redefined the instructions and done rest all those things, and so that the contest didn't get overloaded there. If we define all the topics and actions in a single prompt, what happens generally is the context gets exploded and the XML file in general gets corrupted, as they're very much complex there. For the Apex classes, we defined one class per every action. Instead of having all actions in a single Apex class, we defined one class per every action, because if in case we need to debug the Apex class and if we need to modify the Apex class, what happens with a single action class is, instead of reading the complete code with all the methods there, it is confined to that one particular single method, which in turn results in less token consumption there. Coming to our use case is pretty much focused on three main things. First is wrong plate reading, next is multiple vehicles, and third is billing. Okay, let's start with the first use case, wrong plate reading here. So before that, let me walk you through the org there so we can have a look at the schema. Firstly, we will be having account. Every individual will be having an account there. All his details would be stored there. And for account, we have a child object called vehicle. As each account, every account holder can have multiple vehicles on his name. We have vehicles as a child object there. And when a vehicle of that particular account passes through any toll booth, an opportunity would be created and an opportunity line item would be added based on the type of vehicle. So he can have a type of vehicle like two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, or heavy vehicle. Based on that, an opportunity product would be added there. With our first use case, let's take an account called Pradeep Sai. So he got a message that he crossed a toll booth and a toll has been charged, but the vehicle number there is not his vehicle. So even though the vehicle is not his, but toll has been cut from his account, so now Pradeep Sai would be raising a case here. Now this is the vehicle of Pradeep Sai, which number plate is AB39MB7620, and this is the opportunity, like this is the vehicle billing vehicle number by the time bill was generated. So instead of 20, bill was generated for 6725, which is not his. Pradeep Sai initiates a chat with the agent here. The agent is asking the transaction ID and the vehicle registration number. And Pradeep Sai would be providing his vehicle number here. So the agent verifies if there is a vehicle number mismatch for this transaction ID there, and the agent responds, "You are absolutely correct. The billing was created incorrectly and a claim has been verified and a refund would be approved soon." So a ticket number for this case is created, and the ticket number, we have a formula field there, which is the year, month, and the type of vehicle, and the case number here. To the second case. So for this multiple vehicles case, what happens is, if Pradeep has two vehicles, one is BMW and another one is Thar. So when both these vehicles pass through the toll, what happens is, instead of the toll charging on two vehicles, the toll is charged on a single vehicle. He prices a case here, so what happens is the toll would be split into two and it would be charged accordingly there. So now we'll be giving the vehicle numbers there. Pradeep has three vehicles, so two are Thar and one is BMW. So let's give these two vehicles numbers there. So we give the two vehicle numbers here, and the total toll amount that got charged is $100. Yes. So it verifies if both these vehicles belong to Pradeep. If both vehicles belong to Pradeep and both has been passed through, then what happens is it splits the toll across these two vehicles. Final one, so which is payment and billing related things. So at toll booths, which often happens is instead of charging for one type of vehicle, they end up charging for other type of vehicle. So let's consider a use case here. So we have a vehicle which is Thar. Thar is a car or jeep type of vehicle which has a price of 25. It was charged for a bike here. It was charged for a two-wheelers whose price is $78. There is a mismatch between the type of product which the car and the type of product which was charged. So we would be raising a case. Now we would provide the transaction ID. We would be providing a vehicle number is it acknowledges that there is a pricing mismatch. You are charged $78, but the expected amount is $25. So by making use of SID, we have successfully created a Agentforce agent which have complex XML structures with its topics, actions and related invocable Apex actions within a short period of time, and that too with a least number of tokens. And additionally, we created a presentation lightning web component which we were very much satisfied with, and we didn't expect such a good and clean UI for our presentation actually. And I would be thanking each and everyone who contributed for SID and giving us this opportunity to perform in this hackathon. Thank you.